This is perfect for Brandon Beane and the Buffalo Bills with a pre-draft visit wrapped up. It seems like this is perfect for the Bills and the player, so let's talk about it all right here. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Bills Digest. I am your host, Anthony Senicar, and it is off-season time, so you know what that means. Tons of trade rumors, tons of draft coverage, and tons of free agency signings. There's only one issue. 72% of you guys who are watching this video right now are not subscribed to the channel. Subscribe, join the army here at Bills Digest to stay in touch all offseason with all your latest Bills news, because we got you guys covered from wall to wall. So subscribe, stay in touch, stay informed, and join the army. And like I said, guys, this is perfect for the Bills. With a draft visit officially wrapped up, the Bills have officially met with Ole Miss linebacker Chris Paul Jr. on 3 separate occasions. That of the NFL Combine, that on the Zoom call, and now that of a private workout. Seems like the Bills are very intrigued with that of Chris Paul Jr. And I think this is perfect for the Bills because I think that he is going to be the Matt Milano replacement. We'll get into that, but let's take a look at Chris Paul Jr. as a prospect. Let's take a look at that combine. That's where it started off. Fourth out of all linebackers in production score. Athleticism score out of all linebackers was only 24th. Kind of not a standout athlete in the combine, but on tape he looks like a very, very good athlete. Ran a 4.63, a 36-inch vertical jump, only 6 foot and 222 pounds, so an undersized linebacker. But tell me that doesn't sound like all the linebackers the Bills have drafted in the past. Terrell Bernard coming out of college was undersized. Dorian Williams coming out of college was undersized. Matt Milano coming out of college was undersized. So the Bills seem to know how to work with undersized linebackers, and they focus on athletes and guys who can play sideline to sideline with their linebackers, and having someone a bit smaller with a bit more speed is what you want in this new NFL. Now looking at his NFL or his college career and his season at Ole Miss, had a very good game against Georgia and had a few standout games, another good game against LSU and a few other standout games. So a 4-year starter was the quarterback of this Ole Miss defense and was a 4-year starter, like I said. If you're looking at the career stats, 2022, 76.2 PFF grade, 2023, 59.0, and then this past year, 87.2. So progress and improvement year in and year out, which you want to see when you're drafting one of these guys in the later rounds. Pass rush grade, again, as a blitzing linebacker, was very, very good at 84.0. His run defense grade, which is where the Bills struggled with this past season, was very good at Ole Miss at 84.6. Coverage grade was above average, which is, again, something the Bills put a lot of pressure on the linebackers to either play zone or man, and he was a above average coverage linebacker in the nation. Finish off the season with 19 coverage stops, 35 run stops, allowed 27 receptions on 23 targets for 81% completion percentage on him, had 1 touchdown allowed and forced 1 interception, 4 incompletions, and a passer rating of 93.2 when they were targeting him. So again, a above average coverage guy, a very good run stuffer, and a very good pass rusher. Now I got 2 draft scouting reports, which will kind of give us a better whole picture of that of Chris Paul Jr. So let's start with that first one. Decent size and has some room for growth on his frame. Like with all the other guys the Bills have drafted in the past at linebacker, undersized, but they grow into their frame, grow into their body, and grow into an NFL sized linebacker. Good speed and movement skills, very good athlete overall. On tape looks very good, had kind of a underperforming combine, but looks very, very athletic on tape. Can carry tight end and running backs on vertical routes and man coverage, or click and close in a hurry when playing zone. So again, very good coverage guy. Uses his hands well in coverage to force reroutes or help stay in phase. Natural ball skills and good ball production for a linebacker. So Again, as a whole there, the coverage stuff is very good, which you want to see. Has some thud when coming downhill to create stalemates against offensive linemen when blitzing against the run, and good to good pressure against running backs as a pass rusher. So again, a weapon out of a blitzing format, which is good. Uses change of direction well, or uses change of direction ability well to make offensive linemen miss on the second level and bounce from gap to gap as a run defender. An issue that the Bills had last season was when the linemen would get to the second level, they would eat up Terrell Bernard and Dorian Williams. Matt Milano comes in, that does not happen as much, and the Bills become a better run defending team. And now what it looks like with Chris Paul Jr. learning under Matt Milano, that he will develop pretty well in this system. And finally, speed gives him good range versus outside runs. Like I said, the Bills value speed at the linebacker position. They want guys playing sideline to sideline, not end zone to end zone. And I think having good speed at the linebacker position is only a plus for Chris Paul Jr. in the Bills system if he does get drafted by the Bills. Now, with every positive, there's going to be negative. Let's go through the negatives quick. Lacks lower body strength to hold up against offensive linemen in the running game. Will get pushed out of his gap. Also struggles to get extension on blocks with subpar upper body strength. Again, something you can improve upon, and once you go into your frame, you're going to improve upon this. Will get caught guarding and out of position as a run defender. Instincts can use some work. When you're under Matt Milano. If he does end up replacing Matt Milano, you're going to improve upon that. We saw with Dorian Williams, he'd sometimes hit the gap early in his career, and he has only improved upon that and has not been caught out of position as much as his rookie year when he first started in the NFL. So it's something you improve upon year in and year out. Tackling high will give up extra yards after the contact. Tackling, football 101, you got to wrap the tackles. You can't allow those extra yards after the contact. And you will improve upon that come training camp and come rookie mini camp and kind of getting his reps in within the NFL. Disciplining coverage is subpar. He will get caught vacating his area end zone coverage and is quick to leave his men against scramble drills. So something you got to develop. You got to stay to your zone. You cannot leave your zone, and you cannot leave your coverage when there is a scramble drill. You're going to be playing against Lamar Jacksons in the NFL, and you let your guys do your assignments and you cover your guy even if Lamar is running around. Something you develop over time. So again, the positives very much outweigh the negatives. Stuff that are negatives, in my opinion, for him, he can develop and grow into. Where the positives there are very much the perfect mold for what the Bills want out of a linebacker, and the perfect mold as a Matt Milano replacement. Now going to the second scouting report. Fluid athlete allows him to move sideline to sideline and stick with running backs and tight ends and man coverage. Like I said, the Bills like sideline to sideline linebackers, and Chris Paul Jr. keeps on jumping off the page as the ideal fit for a linebacker in this Sean McDermott system. Outstanding tackler, only missed 6.2% of attempts since 2023. Tackler, you want to be able to wrap those tackles, no missed tackles, so that is very good. Weapon as a blitzer, explosive downhill. The Bills like to blitz their linebackers and send heat with their linebackers. Matt Milano, let's not forget that infamous hit against Mike White 2 years ago. Terrell Bernard was used as a blitzer. Dorian Williams was used as a blitzer. So having this as another weapon is very, very good. And excellent communicator pre and post snap, was the quarterback of the Ole Miss defense. That is what you want to hear. Someone who ran the defense coming out of college, someone who is vocal and tells guys where they got to be. Just, again, this is sounding like very much like an ideal Matt Milano replacement when that time comes. Obviously, the negatives, very undersized. He lacks, his lack of size shows up when attempting to shed blocks, and not as good in tight spaces as he is in open field. Again, you're going to grow into the frame. You're going to grow into all that. So it is very much something that you will grow into. And I think just the instincts and the linebacker skills are going to outweigh the negatives. And the Bills have a history of developing these undersized guys into starters and even all-pro level players. All of these linebackers the Bills have drafted out of college have been undersized, but they developed them very, very well. Milano turned into an all-pro. Terrell Bernard is one of the best linebackers in the league. Dorian Williams is a very good starter in this league. So the Bills have a pedigree of drafting these guys late and developing them to very, very good players in this league. And projection-wise, right now he's ranked as a high-level backup / potential starter and a 3rd round, 4th round pick, which is where the Bills have had a history of drafting linebackers, so it kind of just meshes well with my theory of him being the Matt Milano replacement. He's a 5th ranked linebacker in this draft class, and his pro comparison is that of Zaire Franklin. And now an interesting tidbit when I was doing some research is this note right here, and tell me this does not sound like the Buffalo Bills to a T. The ideal landing spot would be a defense that emphasizes speed and pursuit from their linebackers, allowing Paul Jr. to play fast and leverage his natural instincts. His special teams instincts or his special teams experience and coverage ability give him multiple paths to seeing the field early while he develops more as a complete linebacker. That sounds like the Buffalo Bills to a T. Someone that they can get him reps in as a special teamer. They value special teamers a lot, so that is very good. Somewhere where it's sideline to sideline, that's all the Bills play is speed and sideline to sideline linebackers in their nickel formation. A coverage guy, which again, the Bills have a lot of pressure for the linebackers to be good in coverage, and somewhere where he can develop into a complete linebacker. The Bills have a hole come next year behind Matt Milano. This is their opportunity to get someone to come in, learn behind Matt Milano, learn behind Dorian Williams. Then once Dorian Williams becomes a full-time starter, once Matt Milano leaves, if he does leave, then you got Chris Paul Jr. as the next Dorian Williams and replacement for if one of our linebackers go down, or if he outgrows Dorian Williams, he can become the full-time replacement for Matt Milano. I think this is the perfect situation for the Buffalo Bills and for Chris Paul Jr. But I want to hear from you guys. Let me know your thoughts below. Do you guys think that Chris Paul Jr. is going to be a Matt Milano replacement if he does get drafted by the Bills? And do you find it intriguing that the Bills have already met with him 3 times? Or do you think the Bills should just stick with Dorian Williams and Matt Milano and go in a different round in the linebacker position or in the draft? Let me know your thoughts below, guys. And as I always say, guys, please subscribe. We're on the road to 400 subscribers, and every little bit helps. And like I said, it's off-season time, so we got you guys covered all off-season. So subscribe, stay informed, stay in touch. And as I always say, guys, go Bills.